Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to episode 29 of my Let's Play of none other than the game known as Pillars of Eternity. Oh yeah! And I'm IVATOPIA, by the way. Okay, well, we left off last time. If you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. But we left off, we were talking to the hanging dead dwarf. I think it's a dwarf. And we're kind of communicating. We seem to be talking, but it was like, she's like, is that what we're doing? And apparently I'm a watcher. And she just spoke and explained what a watcher is. And I'm going to say, what did you mean when all goes well?
Oh, nothing to be afraid of, I'm sure. It's just much to take in for some. Sometimes there's trouble sleeping or other difficulties.
She smiles at you reassuringly, finding out a tuffle of long whiskers that sprouts from one of her cheeks. Hell. And
You should see old Merwald. He could tell you much more than I. A watcher just like you. Helped many in his day. Took up in an old keep no one would claim. Not far, not far. Kadnua, beyond the Black Meadow. He will welcome the company.
Okay, so it said, and inspired gleam crosses her murky eye. But basically, she wants me to look for Merwald beyond the Black Meadow. Okay. I think I survived. Wow, do you know what that would be?
Did you now, dear? My, that would be something, wouldn't it? Could be luck, could certainly be. A storm can be a careless thing.
Cara praises you with scholarly interest for a moment before resuming her cheerful demeanour.
Or maybe it got its hands around your soul but couldn't pick it up.
Okay.
A soul
Could
can
be fat.
be heavy if it stayed in one piece through its time. Strong souls, we call them in the trade. Cold, I mean. Called them. Those days are all behind me, no?
Okay. She smiles sadly at the thought. You said souls break apart over time?
Oh, yes. Entropy. Rimagan's work. We know little of why or how. We lose pieces of ourselves when we die and pick up pieces of others when we are born again. But less than what we lost. We tried to stop it with the animantic sciences, but with little success.
It's like, oh no, she's like, nah.
A very small few resist Rimergan's influence and stay together through some force of defiance, at least for a time. But they all succumb eventually, I think.
She clicks her tongue. I want to know something about you. Me?
Me?
She shakes her head
I'll
across
bore
her.
you to tears, though.
Who are you?
And here I thought you'd come to visit me in particular.
Sorry.
Caldara de Baranzi, of the Valian Royal Academy of Animantic Sciences.
Okay.
Not the greatest of their number, but I came here all the same because this was where help was needed.
So she breathes a mid-size, sending a small beetle skittling from inside her cheek. Ew. Her arms run outwards stiffly in what might be courtesy. What happened to you? Spot she's hanging. She laughs, raspberry choke cackle escaping between rows of buttery yellow teeth, causing her body to bob up and down with each spasm. Seeing your blank expression, she catches herself. What's the laughter?
Oh, come now. Such a question. As though the answer were plain as a rope tied for strangling.
Why is that what she
Allow an
said?
old dwarf her last bit of cheer. Well,
cut her
I
off, oops.
came where I was needed, didn't I? Offered my services to Lord Radric for a pittance. A humble pittance. I was to examine the Lord's wife. See why the gods have seen fit to poison her womb. Studied her for months. Looked high and low for impurities. Tested her valence, the permeability of her essence. Do you know what I found?
She's gonna say nothing. Shakes her head.
Nothing at
Dodger.
all. A healthy woman, head to toe, blessed with a beautiful soul. Such a sweet woman, too. Meek, but warm-hearted. A few months' time, and the lord of the house demanded answers. For a time, I told him what he wanted to hear. Oh, yes, my lord. She is riddled with imbalances. I must have time to cure her.
She
As the
alive?
birth drew near, he grew impatient, as lords do. And this is where I've ended up.
Maybe she lied. Or what you're saying is basically you say, oh, she's fine, and he would turn around, oh, you liar, hang her. So you just extended your life by lying, maybe. Maybe he would have taken the truth, I don't know. Walter and Mason.
A student of the soul.
Okay.
Something so basic, yet so poorly understood. But so many breakthroughs have been made in my lifetime. Had been made.
She chuckles.
Had been.
Yeah,
To
she's
hear
kinda
the
dead.
locals tell it, we're a gang of soul manglers that preys upon the weak-minded. And the worst of us are. But the best of us, the best, inspirations, miracle workers. My parents were soul twins.
Twins.
Miserable before they met, empty inside. It was an animancer who helped one find the other, turned their lives around. You wouldn't believe the stories. Amnesiacs helped to remember their lives. The suicidal brought back from the brink of oblivion. The elderly afforded extra moments to say their goodbyes. How soon we forget when we're afraid. It's a fascinating science. A fascinating time to be alive in a place like Deerwood that does not control the research, no? I love the Valian Republics for many things, but their recent caution will leave them behind, I fear.
I have other questions.
Of course, dear.
Apparently I don't. Farewell.
Goodbye, my dear. It was lovely visiting.
Was it? You're hanging. Cassie closes her eyes and her head slumps forward over the noose. Your surroundings seems to bleed into your vision from some unknown place of waiting. As granted crucible of the soul. The old watcher says that's what I'm looking for. What's that soul thing? Must be a talent, I don't see it. L? No. Crucible of the soul. There it is. What's ability? The watcher unravels the vital essence of his or her enemies, gaining endurance in the process.
Ready when you are.
Oh, there. Oh, so it's one of the things I can use one time a battle, or is it one time per rest? Per rest, is that per rest? Wow.
Not a problem. Just say the word.
17 and a half.
Move along. Speak to Urgan if you're in need of instruction.
I have received confirmation that Lord Radric's heir was not born well.
Oh no.
My lord has issued an injunction on all new homesteads until he can be assured that the village has been cleansed of all Aothasians and whatever other undesirables that have brought this curse upon his lands. It would be best if you left town as soon as possible. I would suggest returning to your old home. There will be no place for you here. You may stay at the inn until you can make the necessary arrangements, but I would not advise remaining long. I expect Lord Radric will be most thorough in his efforts to purify this place.
So bailiffs said these before needed new. Tell me about Lord Radric. I'd like to know more about Glenavine. Oh, he's not speaking. I was hoping to speak. Just like silent. Speak. Speak. You're not doing it. He comes from a line of nobles who have defended these lands since Aradan times. Radric II was an elder supporter of dry wood and independence during the Revolution, and the current Lord's father perished in the Saints' War. Hallowborn began appearing in Drywood shortly after the war's end. Lord Radlick has taken it upon himself to purge the curse from Glen's Valley. His measure has been served but necessary. Unfortunately, it doesn't appear to have been enough to protect his heir. Saints' War? Our age's most Ericness, whatever, example of man's madness. 15 years ago, the people of Redstress, whatever, decided that sounds okay butchering these names. I like it when they speak it for me. Their living saint was the literal incarnation of the god elephant. Urgan wrinkles his pinched nose. This supposed saint took it upon himself to liberate the dry wood, supposedly from allegiance to less worthy gods, but I've never known an army to conquer a land for its people's own good. The war lasted about a year, but you can guess what that year did to the worship of the elephants in the dry wood. Lord Rattling forbears had all been Ephesus, but after his father fell defending us from those fanatics, he personally saw that the temple of Ephesus here in town was shut down downtown. He points a few ruined walls near the tree. If you have any other questions, I'd like to know more about the Valley. We're a frontier village, as are most settlements in the dry wood. Gillidan Val hasn't grown much since they established in the colonized days. In the last 15 years, I've seen our population shrink further. He takes it in the ramshackle house and half-fallen fences, hence our recruitment of fresh settlers. Indeed. Oh, he's speaking. Why has Gillidan Val's population been shrinking? Tell me about those ruins behind the tree. Enough about that one's population. Well, his legacy, of course. Many women have had difficulty bearing healthy children of late. A few years ago, Lord Radric decreed that no mothers of Hollowborn are to be allowed in the Gillidan Valley. His mouth tightened into a firm line. His lordship dealt swiftly with the objectors. It may be harsh, but if it purges us of this curse, it is not worth. Oh, is it not worth it? Okay, I was reading that. If it purges us this curse, it's not worth it. Like, you know, he didn't agree with it, but then it was, is it not worth it? He's asking the question. Tell me about those ruins behind the tree. That's what left of the Temple of Elephants. His lips pucker. Lord Roderick forbade worship of the dead. God after the Saints' War. It's been abandoned for almost 15 years, but there are plans to rid it, whatever that is, it to Baron, the god of life and death. Ridrick? I guess it's like swap it over to him. Enough about the Glen Valley. This adventure came a long way. Then you should have no problem continuing on. Trust me when I say it would be best if you were not here when Lord Radric's men are dispatched from the hold. They will be looking for anyone who might have brought the legacy upon us, whose very presence might polluted his wife's womb. You know, right after this happened, just saying, they will extinguish all possibilities. Okay, we're moving on, people. Moving on. Goodbye. It was nice to see you. So these two leave the town. So I guess we should get these out. Ooh, Ulfon's house. Hello? If I work a few extra shifts at the inn, I can get one of those daggers. Oh, crud. Sorry. Oh, fudge muffins. When did I last save it? Were we entered? Yes, we entered. Okay, I'm just going to reload that. I keep forgetting, like, you know when you play some RPGs, you can just take anything you want and it doesn't really class as steal. I keep forgetting some of the more modern ones do.
Not a problem.
So...
Quick and quiet.
So if I do it this way... Nope, they see me. Sorry.
Not a problem.
Roderick himself looks to this smithy for supplies. Oh.
Nice and quiet.
Don't tell Turan, but I think Duran's over in first fires might have the edge on him. Wow. Before we talk to these three, end the episode here. So that's going to go stuff. And tune next week. Have a good day. Bye for now. We're going to have a great amazing day. Bye.